Good afternoon, and thank you for taking the time to view our presentation on integrated disclosures. This is Mark Harmon with Renasant Bank. I'm the Vice President of Mortgage Lending. I'm joined today by Aaron Thomas, who is our Vice President of Mortgage Compliance, and Melissa DiCarlo, a Senior Mortgage Banker here in the Birmingham market. So thank you very much for your time. We hope this will be informational and, most importantly, that we can trigger some conversation and some questions from our viewers that we can take the time to respond to you now that we are very close to the eve of TRID and the new world. So we'll go ahead and start off today. A topic that we have come across or gotten a lot from realtors out in the field is why TRID, why now, why us? And just as a brief recap, in case any of you have not heard, but the Truth in Lending RESPA Integrated Disclosure Rule is the nickname that TRID has been given. And a little recap to the preamble to this is that the Dodd-Frank Act was passed by Congress back in 2010. That act also created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or the CFPB, as we've all learned to assimilate new acronyms in our world, and that granted them regulatory control over our industry, what you and I as mortgage bankers and realtors do together every day. Through this act that was written, Congress required the CFPB to write rules to oversee the implementation and to enforce compliance, which is a very key component of this new rule that we have coming up. So what we have going on today is that we're about to go into effect, and this will be on new applications on October the 3rd. That actually happens on a Saturday, which is a little bit unusual, but where our industry and where you will be working with us is that we are going to kind of put everything into place, beginning with new disclosures that are sent out on Monday, October the 5th. But TRID is our most recent in a series of ongoing rule implementations. This one is designed to provide more clarity to the consumer on mortgage disclosures. There's been a couple of rules that we've gone through a series of implementations over the last couple of years, but this one is perhaps more impactful to how you and I do business every day. So it creates a couple of new documents that we will soon learn and love. The first is a loan estimate, or LE, which is intended to integrate RESPA's GFE and TILA's TIL, what we've been using for many years. And also our closing disclosure, or CD, is intended to combine the final TIL and the HUD-1 settlement statement that we've all grown accustomed to using. So I wanted to share a quote. One thing that I'm very involved in as a mortgage banker is that I'm very involved in the Mortgage Bankers Association, both at the state and the national level. And when we were kind of putting together this presentation, a quote that I thought was very good, I posted here on the screen. It's from an issue paper that was written back in May of this year. And not to just simply read this to you, but I think it's a nice summary. It says, in addition to the new forms, the rule brings major changes to the mortgage origination and closing process, including changing the definition of application, clarifying responsibilities for providing the forms, establishing tighter tolerances or limits on cost increases from application to closing, and here's kind of the key part that has everybody a little bit uneasy, installing a 3-day period between provision of the closing disclosure and consummation of the loan. If a creditor makes certain specific changes between the time of the CD form is provided and closing, a new form must be generated and an additional 3 business days must elapse before closing. That's the one that's gained a lot of the attention.